Hello, I'm playing some Silenthunter online and I thought I'd run through a few of the things with you. I know some people like to use these videos to help. This is the theatre view. This shows you the area of play that you actually have in Silenthunter. You start in the docked area, which is down here, and you'd have a bunker, which is where your U-boats are actually held. I've got two at the moment. I got rid of the first basic one, if you're wondering. Now, with your depot, this holds your U-boat plus your officers and your resources. Each of these tabs at the top tell you what's part of the ship. If you have any damage, this is where you can actually repair it, repairing singular items or multiple. Torpedoes, so for example you need to refuel or add more torpedoes on. I'll do fuel because it needs some. If you click on the bottom here and click across, it will remove fuel from your depot and place it onto your U-boat, and then you just press transfer at the bottom and it starts queuing up. Now everything basically takes time in Silenthunter. Occasionally you may find that you have nothing down here and you're not able to fill torpedoes or something. Check this, that it's not on internal, because some of the later subs will be allowed to take from the top of the U-boat and put into your torpedo tubes. So if you can't see a way to do it, make sure you're on U-boat and depot. Okay, officers and crew, these are your officers that you're going to use, and this is your crew. Now this boat holds 25 and they're not that qualified, but they will gain experience as you go along. Right, so this is my sub and I'm happy that I've got fuel, I've got torpedoes. Before you go out, what you can do is, if you go to depot, this is the, you can see there's the shop. You can choose torpedoes and you can use what's called prestige points, because you've got two types of currency. You've got prestige, which you earn, and then you've got gold, which you earn every level or you can buy, but it's a bit expensive. Click on there, queue up some torpedoes to come. Let's just do two there. Buy diesel, queue up some diesel. Now the thing about diesel, you might think, oh, I want 10 lots of it. It comes in units of 10,000, so every unit is 10,000, so that's 10,000 litres, which is not bad. But if you put 2,000, it's a lot of diesel, but you need to try and conserve it for your torpedoes. Right, okay, so let's come out of the depot and leave port. As you see, there's a lot of clicking that goes on. This is very much like the old Silenthunter. Now, this is the battle area. Now your tier 1 starts here, and you see the line it follows to the missions that you've got for tier 1. You've also got, I've opened the tier 2, which is part of the campaign, so I could use them missions. So, but before I want to do that, I want to go full screen. Now, if it doesn't go full screen, you can go to the settings, click on, and it will allow it to go full screen. Right, now we're in full screen and we're semi-set. Click on your sub, set course. Now I'm going to choose to go to tier 1 encounter, which is there. Just holding your mouse over it brings up all the details of what you need to do. Click on that and you suddenly got a directional line. You want to calculate your course. Now if you notice there it says it's not in range, it means I can't just use time to catch that up, because it will be gone. So I'm going to have to use something called skip 2, which uses your TCP points. This is time compression, which means it gives you the ability to do it in sort of a lot faster than normal time. So I'm going to click skip 2. It's going to cost me 2,500 diesel, but it moves me there instantaneously. you might have seen that my TCP goes down. This will go down to lower amounts, but does go up in normal time. Okay, so here we go. My mission logbook has come up. Special target. I've been asked to basically sink one of the ships, but I've got to recognise it first. So I'm going to jump to the mission. Okay, this is your sub. As you can see, it doesn't look like there's much actually happening. But these black lines here, which you see pinging out, these are actually bearings. So that gives you an idea of where your ships are actually going to be. If I drew a line by clicking on the pencil and then clicking on the ruler, I'll move these up here for the minute, and draw a line there, that shows me a rough bearing. Now I know that my radar is about 6,000 meters, so I could use a compass point and click on where my ship is. Up to 60,000 meters would be around about there, so I know they're somewhere in that area. Okay, zooming in, you literally use your middle mouse button and you use your left. Hold your mouse over your ship, you can then set course, but first thing you should really do is to click off your compass, otherwise you'd be putting compass lines everywhere. So now I know the ships will be travelling from east to west, so I'm going to set my course slightly down. You click and then click again where you want to go, right click to come off of it. What you can do is, if you want to get rid of this middle one while you're still selected on that, right click on it and it will remove it. And then if you want to steer again, you can click on it, click your points that you want, click off and delete whatever you don't need. So suddenly I'm going more down to the southeast. Okay, well that means I'm setting off anyway. Better stick us on a course that's going to be a little bit more. You can click on your sub and click cancel. Let's just get rid of the lines there, I think that's causing it a bit of confusion. Reset course. But when you reset course, what that also does is it resets your speed. So if you don't want to do that or come out of silent running, you really want to set your course and then use your lines to delete to get you going in the correct line. Okay, coming off the map, more towards the action. This is your periscope. There's put, and here are your switches for up and down, lowering the periscope. You've got two periscopes, and here is an adjust the periscope height. If you see this line, this arrow here, this shows the water level, and this is where your periscope is with regards to it. Now the higher you go, the more chance you got of being spotted, but in this beautiful weather it's not going to be much. So I'm going to increase the size so we can see more of what I'm actually looking at. So suddenly there's a lot going on. I can now see the horizon. I can't see any ships at the moment, so I'll just carry on in this course quite happily. Now I can use this tool here, which is the compression tool, and this is compresses time. Each time you go faster, increases the amount of time to times 4. The indicator up in the top left shows you what's actually happening. Okay, getting back to the periscope. Through here you've got several options. Now, one of the options that you probably end up using first of all is your auto enable target lock. Now this will lock to one target, and to unlock it you just click it again. So click to lock, click to unlock. I will show you when you get there or come into contact with something. We have here are your tubes. You've got 3 tubes. These you can pre-flood. Now in the starting missions it's not going to matter too much, but when you come across destroyers and stuff, it might be more important. You can flood more torpedoes if you click the enable salvo, and then that allows you to choose which tubes you actually want. So now I've got 3 tubes, so if I hit fire now, I would fire off 3 torpedoes. Okay, below your fire button is a pull out tab. This allows you to change the depth of your torpedoes and to the running depth for when they hit their target. Now, if you have electromagnetic torpedoes, and this enables them, this button here, if you click that on and fire within 1 meter underneath a ship, you've got more chance of damaging it. The amount of pressure that it does on the hull is enough to break it, or supposedly break it. So you will occasionally get 1 shot hit kills. Still nothing happening. Right. So that's your periscope. At the top here, you've also got a button to change to 6 or 1 times. You can just use the mouse scroll on your middle mouse button just to scroll you in and out. That gives you an idea of what you actually got set to zoom. So in, out, and left and right. Okay, I've unflooded them due to the fact of you don't really want to fire anything off because you can't fire it when it's not flooded, which you'll soon see. Up here you get a chat box. Now you can have a nice big chat box, or put your chat box over the chat windows if you don't wish to see any of those. That way you can cover it and keeps you an idea of what's actually happening. The first guy that you got is your radio officer. If you use him to send a weather report wherever you're going, each time he sends a weather report, he give you 10 prestige, and also he give you some experience, as you see there. Weather report sent. Yeah. Then also you can send what's called a contact report. That shows you where the ships that you're actually engaging in. Okay, next in the line you've got your sonar operator. There's a confirmation weather report. Okay, next in line you've got your sonar operator. Oh, we've got contact. Now as you can see, I've got a ship on that's turned up. The bearing line shows me the bearings where the ship is, so the black line going across to there. Now turn my periscope to that position. I zoom in, I can't see anything. Well, it's bad weather. But sometimes if you click like that, it will allow you to lock onto it. Now I can see the target, and if I hold my mouse over it, it shows you the information of it. It shows you all the details of the ship, as you can see in the menu. What you can then do is use your weapon officer to identify the target. Now with the identification, it takes a little bit of time there, just speed that up to 2. And he will end up giving you extra information about the target. Now, I'm going to slow my speed down. So now when I hold my mouse over the target, I can see what it actually is, which faction has it, but there's a lot of details that it doesn't know. But I can see the tonnage. Now if I click there, and I can calculate the distance to the target. Now each time you do these things, your officer is gaining experience, so it's now jumped up to 350. Now I like to have the draft of the craft, which in this case we're going to find out. I reckon that's going to be about 9.2 or something like that. It's quite a big ship. Oh, 6.8, I was wrong. If you see halfway down the line it says draft. It's calculated speed, that should be about 7 knots. Okay, 6 knots. Okay, not too bad. A little bit out, but I like to put a line down, and it shows you the directional path. If you dive down, it gives you an idea of what line that they're taking. If you get spotted, they will zigzag, and they've basically changed the course, and that makes it harder. I use the compass here, get myself a reading. I need at least 2,500 before my information officer can give me extra information about these targets. Now, this is the watch officer, sorry. So this is now moving in. Let's lower the periscope down a touch. The higher your periscope, the more chance you've got of spotting. You may have seen the black lines decreasing and increasing. See that? Up and down. No, totally gone because I'm below the surface. If you put your mouse over, it shows you the status of what you've actually got, or in the top right, it shows you the enemy contact. There are some other ones that detectability, but I think that's only really solar because I haven't seen it been affected by visual spotting. Also on the top right, you'll see the battery. This is the amount that you can stand the water for by the use of your electric engines. Below that's your fuel. Okay, so we're getting in closer now. I've decided on my target. I'm going to go for this freighter. Now, if you need to see the mission operations, you can click up on top right and reread what you need to do. So it's saying to sink one ship. It shows you at the bottom what you're going to get for it. If you succeed the mission, it shows you prestige and the amount of experience that your character gets. Okay, I'm going to carry on at that course. I think that's looking quite good. Let's just check the target. Now, the next officer along there is your engineering officer. You can, if you're on surface, charge your batteries. So if you're between missions, you can charge them up, or you can send repair teams and also begin silent running. Now, begin silent running reduces your chances of being detected, but also reduces your speed, as you can see down here on your speed gauge. Yeah, this shows you the speed that you're actually going at. So the black is forward and the red is reverse. Okay, what we got? Looking good. This is the target. Just add another little compass in there, I think. Hey, come on. Okay, there we go. Right, that shows you the radius that you've actually got. You can use these tools to add, and if you want to delete them, click on the rubber and then just click on what you wish to delete, remembering to unclick. Right, let's see what we got. That's a bit hard. Right, I'm going to reduce my time down now. I'm going to flood one torpedo. Now I know that the draft is 6.8 meters, so what I'm going to do is I've got it to 7. I've got the speed. Over here I've got to make sure that this is enabled so that the electromagnet ones will actually detonate when the torpedo goes under the ship. I'm now going to calculate a solution for my torpedo. Target solution. Oh, of course you have to be connected first to do that. Okay, right, it's highlighted, it's now calculating it. At the same time, I can do target information. This officer here, if you're having a reconnaissance mission, He's what you use to find out what's aboard a specific target. Now I know I can shoot this ship because it says on the target type mission objective, so there's no problem with me shooting that ship. Right, the time's coming on, just a last extra check. It's looking good. It's well beyond the waves. And we're going to get a bit of a view, good stuff. Right, it's gone past it, and once it goes past you can see the extra ship. Now I'm going to fire there and there anyway. So I've got a torpedo in the water, as you can probably hear from the sounds hopefully, and it's away. Now I don't know if that torpedo is going to hit, so I'm going to start calculating a second torpedo solution. Now you can just do it manually. 7 meters, just make sure, and electric set. But if you can have the computer do it, then why not? It's supposed to be fun at the same time. But once he gets a solution, it shows you roughly where it's going to be. Or if you want to do it manually, you can figure out roughly what you think would be the line and then fire off. So I haven't found a way of setting a bearing manually yet. Right, zoom out. So it doesn't look like I've been spotted yet, which is good. Being spotted and them sort of like zigzagging really does make it a lot harder. I'm not going to get a hit, this is the thing. Right, got a solution. As you can see, the second ship now. I can decide where I want to let it to hit by that green line going along. I'm going to go there. So it's looking good. Could have a hit. Excellent. Right, as it starts to update, you should see the information at the bottom. I've hit an aft hit, done great by taking out 5 locations. The red is supposedly flooding, so it is damaged. It could sink from that, but because it's above 10,000 tons, it's very unlikely that a single torpedo is going to take it out. I'd be more inclined to think 2 or possibly even 3. Right, just covering my options. Flooding the torpedo, calculating torpedo range. Some other things are the gauges over here on the right. If you want to surface, this is on the right hand side, the green button, periscope, depth and crash dive. Here is also the button to going up to the bridge, the conning tower, to actually view. So if you need that. And the buttons here change the gauges so you can use different types. Is it going to hit? It's looking good. Looking very nice. Well, 2 out of 2, which is always good to see. Now I think that should really sink any second. Right. If you notice the fading of the target, that means his calculation is getting vaguer. Oh, there you go, look at that. So now it's crashed, and I've managed to succeed in sinking the one ship as it slowly burns. Alright, mission accomplished, accept the mission. Now if you click no, you can go along and sink the rest of the ships, which can be good if you've got enough torpedoes, or you can click yes and just end it, which would allow you to then zip off and do another mission. So I could go from that mission here to that mission here. Now there is, to get back to your bunker, there is a slight bug at the minute. that if you try and do straight to, sometimes you'll lose compression points, but also fuel. Right, so I'm going to reset my course, set course, I'm going to choose to here, calculate your. Now if you see here, I've got the normal time mode, which means that it would use up 2,300 litres, or I could skip 2, and that uses time compression points. It's the same amount of fuel. So the more grid you go in, the further it goes, the more compression points it uses. So skip takes me to there, and then just set course into the bunker, calculate course, and once again skip 2. Do you want to go into the bunker? Yes. So as I said, I'm now in the bunker to go into my torpedo room. I've got 3 in now, I need some reserves. Yeah. Like I said, internal. I need to go to U-boat to my depot. Torpedoes. Oh, I've got one of those, I'll save that for later. And transfer. So now it's doing, and for the fuel, I'm all set for another foray out into the seas. Oh well, have fun, hope you enjoy it. I love a sub game, so hope that helps. Bye for now.